What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. We're here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 17. I finally got it right. We have Asia, we have Jasmine, ready to lean.
Hey y'all.
Welcome back. Of course, this is the first time Jasmine and Asia have met because of the
Honey.
circumstances. But hey, they've met, and of course, at this point, you've met the entire panel. Welcome back, Jasmine.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Asia.
Lean in, bitch.
Asia, welcome. You just had a bridal shower party this weekend. I was leaning into that child.
I showed it. Look, I had to channel you because you love a theme. So we had a theme. We had a lingerie theme, but not a dungeon theme.
It wasn't a dungeon. Okay, so Bolo wasn't there.
So
Okay,
nobody,
cool.
Unfortunately, nobody fucked the stripper.
Okay.
Dang.
Nobody did it.
Well, you know
There
what?
go my
I'm glad.
storyline.
I'm glad that nobody did because if I have to hear about somebody fucking a stripper anymore, I probably would just go ahead and end myself. So good.
Right.
Before we get started into this episode, because it's a lot to talk about. I mean, my God, it's a lot to talk about. I know we kind of briefly said like some quick thoughts before the camera started rolling, but let's talk. I know me and Jasmine broke down some of the reunion looks. The reunion actually will be premiering in 2 weeks, and they're going to be giving the trailer for it next week. So just based off of the looks, who was your favorite, Asia, and who was your least favorite?
My favorite was Kenya,
Okay.
and it was the hair.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
It was the hair because she just gave me Barbie doll, like just regal Barbie doll. My least favorite was Drew. What is that? I was like, see, she shouldn't have wore that because now she wearing somebody prom dress. Somebody out here needing to go to prom. Ain't got no dress.
I said it was given, I'm going to be a bridesmaid, but I might get married, so I'm going to add this extension.
Yeah. I said that she looked cute because she always does too much. So I thought that the understatement made it that she was okay. So
my shoulders look better than hers.
It does. It does.
I understand the assignment, and not everybody does.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And she didn't.
She did.
And I will say this: Kenya, Porsha, and Cynthia, they look nice, but it was kind of like snooze fest a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all just look alike.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like Kandi's look, but I'm glad that she pushed it. I think it was the hair for me for Kandi. If Kandi had different hair, then I probably would have really liked Kandi's look because it seemed like it matched the theme more. But it was that
little hump, that curl
like
up
that?
right there. You remember when Nene said it was curled up too tight? You remember that?
That bump.
That bump, you got that curled under. That bump. Oh,
well,
God,
she
I love
said,
it.
Kandi, spoke about that. Of course, she always speaking on something, child. But she said that it was inspired by I can't think of what it was, but she showed a picture, and to her defense, she was in character, she was in theme. She wasn't my favorite, but she was in theme and in character, so I appreciate her effort. But I would like to see a
that's what I
more
said too.
glamour. I wouldn't have worn that to the reunion. So, now. In other news with Kandi, going into this episode, of course, last week we left off with them having a tasting at her new restaurant, Blaze Steakhouse.
Okay.
Now, I spent a lot of time in Atlanta because my mom is there, my friends are there. But, this tasting was earlier. Obviously, they were tasting the food. Now, we kind of jumping around this scene, but do you think the food was really good?
I do think I thought it looked really good. I mean, it seemed extra like the big ass crab claws, but at the same time, like I was like, ooh, fried lobster. I like stuff like that. So I mean, look at Cortez. I mean, I think I would try it.
Asia, did you think it was good?
I think I would try it.
I think the food did look good, and what saved it was that baked macaroni and cheese.
Didn't it look good?
So, because that's like when I'm doing my cheat meals, that's what I eat. And so I was like, I wasn't really feeling that other stuff. I don't eat crab legs and all that. I just don't eat that.
You eat
But I was like,
crab
I'll
legs.
eat some baked mac and cheese. And I think that it fits the theme of the restaurant because it's supposed to be a steakhouse. And for it to be steakhouse food and not all just be, so you can actually go to a steakhouse and get your sides that you would get at Thanksgiving. So in that regard, yeah, but it's not mashed rolls.
It definitely ain't mashed rolls. Oh, I was like, wait a minute, mashed? Oh, that's my
Never had
place.
mashed rolls.
Now I'm gonna say this: the food did not look good to me. It looked dry. I'm sorry. That I like lobster tails, and the lobster tails just did not look that appealing to me. Maybe
They were
it was
fried.
okay. That's just my opinion. But anyway, but you know what? You know what? The reason why I asked this question is because I've never been to the restaurant, right? I'm only going based off what I see. But when that episode went off yesterday, I saw a line of comments, and I should have kept them for the screen, where they were saying, like, I saw somebody literally, he said the exact words were, "Oh, I know this show must be fake because they said Kandi's food was good." So that being like I heard a lot of comments about their restaurant not being good, and so but everybody on the episode said it was good. So I guess maybe the tasting food was good. Maybe when they got more people coming in, it kind of lost its flavor. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Right.
Well, you show out. You show out for the camera. You show out for your entrance. Like when you start a job.
Yeah. This is
you doing real good.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna go to the restaurant. I should have went. I really forgot about the restaurant, honestly. But next time I go, I'm gonna find some time because I've been to OLG a long time ago. So I should try Blaze, and then I'll come back and maybe I'll lean into that recipe and the food and menu and be like, So yeah.
Right.
I didn't get an opportunity to go to OLG because when I went, they were closed, even though they were supposed to be open.
Well, it's always a long, like if I go to Atlanta for like on Thursday, I'm like, maybe OLG, it's never any spaces open until that Sunday when I'm leaving. So it's just always booked up by the time I get there.
Yeah. Okay. So more to the episode. The episode was called A Whole Lot of Mess because there was a whole lot of mess happening in this episode. We picked back up last week with Marlo coming in and Porsha ignored her. And I knew it was gonna be some mess when Cynthia clearly said, "So you just gonna ignore Marlo?" And I'm like, right. And so, like, do you feel like Porsha was wrong for ignoring Marlo in this moment? Like their relationship, like just give me your thoughts on that. Just go ahead, Jazz, and say you ready. Go ahead.
I don't think that she should have ignored her. I think, I thought she did say do like that, but maybe just saying, hey, because at the end of the day, just it's all petty. And it wasn't really like she said, it's not the time and the place. So I don't understand, it just a high doesn't kill you. It doesn't cost anything. And I think that she could have addressed whatever she had another time.
Well, so I'm talking about just her speaking, just Porsha not speaking to Marlo. That's basically what happened.
That was rude.
I just think, it doesn't cost anything just to say hi, because if you don't speak, it is going to bring up what she said. So you're just going to ignore Marlo like that? I mean, then it's just going to roll and do a domino effect. So it doesn't cost nothing.
They do that so often on this show. I feel like it happens so many times amongst them, like many times. I will say Porsha historically has ignored and paid a lot of people when it comes into like a situation like, and I guess she says like I'm not trying to be fake, but I saw a scene recently where when she walked into I think like season like 9 or 10, and she walked in and Kandi was like kind of talking about her, and Kandi was just like she didn't speak to Kandi, and then last season she didn't speak to Nene at the beginning at the hair care event. So I get the I don't want to be fake. I get that part, but in this case, I probably wouldn't speak either if I'm really upset. But at the same time, you're going to not speak, and then later on you're going to say, oh, like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, there's no problem. Obviously, there's a problem. If there's not a problem, you should speak, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
She told Aunt Nora she can break bread with anybody. Yeah. But clearly you can't, because when the person said, hey, P.
Yeah.
You didn't say.
Ignored her.
Hey.
Yeah.
You were just like. And it's like, it's all over your face. She's like the most bothered, unbothered person I've seen.
Porsha.
You think so?
Yeah, she tries to be so unbothered that you see all the botherness. Like if my mouth don't say it, my face will. That's
Mm-hmm.
her.
But I also think that if she, when she, moving forward in the conversation, if she remember, she was like, "Yeah, I was gonna ask you about how your back was. If you and Shamia had something planned out, then you should have said, hey, so you can go ahead and speak and get that shit
Right.
rolling, right?"
Yeah,
So I
that
mean,
was
I
a
just felt like
little.
it's just was all petty.
It was
Mm-hmm.
definitely. I mean, they definitely came on to Marlo. Honestly, I kind of felt bad for Marlo just because I don't like to see anybody just be like attacked by multiple people. That's just in general. Like
Yeah.
because it's like you could tell, like Marlo, she ain't no punk, but in that moment she really felt helpless. Like it's almost like because I mean, in the moment, even though she was kind of like lying and stuff like that, but it was like it was a setup because even though she wrong place, wrong time, she was trying to
Mm-hmm.
do the same thing she did with Big Frida, bring this up to Aunt Nora about situations. She honestly, Marlo should stop doing that because that's what gets her in these
Yes.
situations. That's number
That's
one.
what Marlo. That's
Yes.
Marlo Marloing.
But even
That's
in
Yes.
what she
that
do best.
moment,
Nasty.
Portia and Shamia, Portia was like, "Oh yeah, so I was just supposed to say that about your back," and I'm just like, "Oh hell, here she goes." They got her, they got
That
her.
Got it.
happened. That happened because Marlo was talking about how she was trying to apologize to her, or
Mm-hmm.
it was like leading up to the apology. And so Portia
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Oh yeah, I saw that, and I meant to text you back about your back."
Yeah, out of nowhere. I mean,
It
Yeah,
was
it just
like,
out of nowhere. I mean, she did say, "I text you," because she said, "I apologize to everybody that was in the room. You wasn't there." But then she came back and said, "I text you. You know, what I'm saying, could we talk?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah, oh, I meant to text you back," but then threw that out there. So I mean, at
mm-hmm.
the end of the day, like, I mean, I love Portia, but I can
yeah.
agree with her in saying that, I mean, it just wasn't
Yeah.
good. It
I'm
just,
gonna
I
tell you,
don't
I
like that.
hollered when she tried to put her hand up at her and get her hand, and Portia didn't even touch her hand,
So rude.
and they zoomed in on that hand. I was like, oh my god, like, cause that's what
Oh
I was just
God.
like, well, it's just so crazy because, like I said, I kind of feel bad for her, but I kind of don't because Marlo has always had somebody. This season, she does not have nobody.
Mm-hmm.
She's friends
Yeah.
with Kenya, but even in that moment, Kenya is not going to go to bat for her like that. They ain't got to that level. She not going. She really ain't got
Nope.
nobody. Portia was the
She wasn't
last
there. She
person
wasn't there.
she should have kept
Mm.
close because everybody else just knows. Everybody else has had their run in with Marlo, so they already know. They already sitting on ready.
Mm-hmm.
They know. So I don't know. It was just funny to me. Aunt Nora was just egging her own child. She was shaking hand, and Marlo her
Yeah.
hand
She
just sitting
sure
over
was.
there.
Yeah, she sure was.
Marlo was basically doing the praise hand, telling she was like, "Hey, because nobody was touching
No.
her hand." And Aunt
Can
Nora
I
is also
say that
go ahead.
I don't
No,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. I was just gonna say that I don't agree with you about feeling sorry about my love. I
Okay.
don't feel sorry for her because she's done it to so many other people. Now, we love Marlo. I love
Yeah.
Marlo, even though right now she seems fake to me. But she's done it to so many other people. Can we say Cherie? Y'all remember that? Okay, like all that extra shit, like all that extra shit. Like, yeah, she doesn't have anybody. So if she's so Marlo, then she needs to stand on her own and show that she's Marlo. I don't feel sorry for her, although I do
But
think it
who
was
is Marlo?
messy, but I don't feel sorry.
Who? So
Huh?
when you say stand on her own feet, being Marlo, even you have said this season that this Marlo,
Mm-hmm.
she's needy. She's more like she's
Mm-hmm.
basic. Like she wants to be friends with Kenya. She
Mm-hmm.
honestly, Marlo is just the epitome of a person that exudes strength, but really, it's not weak. But
Weak.
they are
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily weak, but they actually are putting on more than what they actually are on the inside. Because I watched a
It's a
clip
defense mechanism.
I watched a clip
Mm-hmm.
recently where she felt the way about Kandi in Spain, how she felt like Kandi was so dry to her and stuff like that. And it kind of brought me, you remember that scene? It was back when the elder
Yes.
situation. And so in this
Okay.
same
Okay.
in
I
the
do
same
remember.
season, she felt the same way with Kenya. You know how we talked about it. So we're learning that Marlo really ain't the strong person that she has appeared to be. Like it's all been a facade, it's all
Mm-hmm.
been a defense mechanism, and so that's why I feel bad because I see that she really ain't that type of girl. Even if you're watching the tweets right now, like her and Porsha are going back and forth, and
They are.
for one, Marlo ain't no reader. but she really is no match for anybody when it comes to back and forth banter because she's just not
Yeah.
she's not a wordy girl. And so that's why I was like, well, child, this is really not her game. Only now when she got somebody on her side, sure, but she by herself, and she by herself because of her own damn actions. But at the same time, it's like, well, damn, because they basically they tag teamed on her ass. They talking about her lipo.
If you think about it,
go ahead.
She's not a wordsmith. That's why when she says something, she goes too far.
She goes over
because she doesn't know what to say. She don't know how to be nice, nasty. She just knows
how to be nasty.
Nasty this, and she just gives nasty back. So I mean, I understand that. I don't necessarily feel. I'm indifferent. You know, I'm the same with everybody. But I felt like she took it well. I felt like she took that conversation well. I feel like she was just kind of tired. Like, I don't really want to go back and forth. But I think when they showed that clip of them on the bus, her and Kandi on the bus talking.
Oh,
I was saying
about it.
She didn't take it well, honey. She was mad because she threw Kandi under the bus.
I get when I understood why she was like, well, you're a liar. Because they been had talked about that. So I get why she was upset, but I don't know. I want to ask that lady about her lipo because I don't care. They all get.
But wait. So you get why she was asking? You get why she's upset with Porsha?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be upset, but I get why she thinks she's like more mad than she actually is. Like at the end of the day, it really ain't none of her business. But she's like, me and Kandi done talked about it. We know that she did this. So I think they're just all just trying to get Porsha to admit it on camera.
I mean, I could get that she wants her to admit it. But at the same time, as a friend,
that's not a friend.
You should not even be.
Exactly.
You should not be doing that. Even if they show.
They're not friends. But I didn't know we thought they was friends. My bad.
But that's what Marlo is trying. Marlo keeps saying, you know what? You ain't gotta be my friend. I'm still gonna be your friend. She wants to act like she's being a loyal friend, and she's not. Because if she was, she would not be sitting here trying to get her friend to admit that she had sex.
Admit something.
Right. That's nothing to admit.
No, they're not friends.
But that's fine. I think that's what Porsha has. I feel like, honestly, as far as being unbothered versus bothered, she doesn't care about being friends with Marlo at this point. Marlo is putting herself out there, and she's just basically reaching, honey, and Porsha is over here doing something else with her pillowcases and stuff, her go naked hair. Like it's like Marlo at this point, girl, if you don't see that she don't want to be your friend, then move on. You know, go ahead and be Kenya's friend or anybody else's friend because she just looks crazy. And I said,
she's not a friend. She's not a good friend. I like Marlo. I dig Marlo from a distance. I would never like put on my pajamas and go spend the night at Marlo's house.
See, I would because I already know what I'm getting.
But if you're that type of person, Porsha's used to having attention and things being about her and people being loyal to her. Yeah. That's not who Marlo is. So if that's the type of friendship you want, you're not getting it from her. You're not getting that from Marlo.
She did it, but the person that she did it the most for was Nene. But I cannot get the vision of my head of her running after her, calling her Donald Trump with Kenya next to her, because that means she flips on her anytime. But I do dig Marlo, and I could put on pajamas and go to the Marlo mansion or whatever the hell she got, because I would know what I'm getting. But
she got nice countertops in her house.
She do. I like Marlo. I like what she got going
on. She knows
the
fashion.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
it's the fake friend thing. Yeah. I mean, I could kick it. Like I said, I could kick it with you, but I'm not gonna get like super drunk with you and tell you my business.
Of course. No, that's
right.
That's
but
true.
She was the first one to say something about it in NDA, so she knows when to say some shit and when she don't. So it's the passive aggression for me when it comes to Marlo. Like she's like, I'm gonna be your friend even if you ain't my friend, bitch. Right. You ain't been my friend this whole time. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry.
What kind of person says that? Like, you say that to a person you've been friends with forever. Because basically what you saying is like, you ain't going nowhere. Like, girl, Please, we were just
Right.
getting to know each other, as Cynthia once told
Yeah.
Kenya. So,
Mhm.
like,
I don't know
We've been around
why.
each other for 5 years and we still don't know each other like that. And she don't
correct,
even know Andy like that. And they've been around each other for 10 years. So
right,
But they
right,
only with each other for 4 or 5 months out the year. So I
yeah.
think that says a lot too. Because they're together filming. They're not like hanging out. A lot of them are hanging out when they're not
Mhm.
filming.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna
So
say the
I
real.
just I mean
Oh, go ahead.
I don't get why Marlo. I mean, I understand when I saw that conversation. I'm just saying I know Marlo been had a heart on this topic once I saw her and Kandi talking about it. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get why she just keep going and going. I don't think she's. I mean, I wouldn't care, so I don't understand why she cares so much. But I'm like, oh, no wonder she just keep. So did you do it? Did you do it?
Yeah,
But y'all need to sign NDA. But did you do it? Like, girl, okay.
And that should let Porsha know again from the
right.
jump. If she knew from the jump that when she was doing all that shit with Kenya, trying to be friends with her, trying to tiptoe around the fact that, oh, was it a porn? I mean, was somebody having an orgy? I don't know. Like, Marlo,
Yeah, it's
quit
too
playing,
much.
Marlo.
It's too
Stop.
much. Let's talk about Kenya, who actually did not eat the food. She actually left, and I think she left because she didn't want to eat the food. But she
She said
said,
she had the salad.
"What the salad, honey? Salad tastes the same everywhere you go. Put a little dressing on it." But basically, Mark reached out and was in town or something like that, and this is draining to me too, just as much as Bolo. Her trying to hold on to something in this marriage, it just doesn't make sense to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Kenya, like I cannot really care for Kenya, but what she is giving off is just not good for even her daughter
It's
to see
sad.
in 10, 15 years from now. It's like, are you serious? Like, you're sitting here letting this man, alimony, block you, do all this stuff like that, not come to Atlanta, all these things. And you're basically you want to put off like you're fighting for something, but what are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? The scene was
What she
just,
been fighting for this whole time? She just want a man. She want a man that bad.
It's
but that
sad.
is, and I understand what she's trying to give off, like, oh, we have this child together, we have this family. I don't want to be divorced. I don't want to do this. I don't want this to be for the baby, girl. At this point, this man has run you through the mud, honey. Let it go. I just didn't like this scene. I was just like,
Let it go.
It's Kenya. Like, do you know what they've done? Kenya hasn't really had a storyline this whole season. Honestly, let's be real. What they've done is
Right.
every 2 or 3 episodes they bring in something about Mark. They mention something about Mark, and then then it goes back to her being messy. No storyline.
That's nothing. Nothing.
If you want to be quite
But
honest, the
Porsche
only
was a
person that
song.
has had a true storyline this season, for real, is Drew.
It's Por-
Drew.
Oh. Okay.
And I say that
Yeah.
because she went from her husband, you having issues. She went to the son, meet his
Hello,
real
boy.
father.
Mhm.
Then she's been in a drama with LaToya. Now she with Kenya. Like, she has really worked her way around this cast. And I just feel like she's the only person that's given us a house. Like, everybody else, they just been there filming with each other. And so yeah, that's just my little rant on that. I do want to say
I disagree.
You disagree? Well, go ahead. Tell me, give me your rebuttal, honey. 'Cause I'm gonna listen.
The only reason I disagree
Mhm.
is because Kenya's storyline is her divorcing her husband and the baby
She
not
ain't
being
divorcing him.
on there, and her having to bring the baby everywhere, and that's annoying. Like, it may not be a big storyline, but like, I don't know how many episodes back it was, but I like seeing her go to therapy. So
Kenya,
for me,
Ew.
yeah.
what did you get out of her therapy section? Her therapy
Session.
What I gotta just her finally realizing, like, she has issues she gotta deal with. You can't just be going around being nasty to people and think that's gonna cover up the fact that your family don't like you or whatever you went through when you were younger. And she's dealing with the fact that she is, since we've seen her come on this show, it's like, oh, she paid this person to be with her. She paid this person to be with her. It just seemed like she's finally coming to the realization a little bit that she got to move on.
A little itty bitty bit, because she has not shown any growth from these therapy sessions. She has literally, she's still antagonizing.
We only seen one therapy session.
And so how you said sessions?
Right. You said that she, I mean, you said that when she go to the therapist session, that she will have to see that you can't be this nasty, nice, nasty, you can't do that. She don't even think she's nasty.
She
Like she
don't.
told Toya, you defending me and I haven't done shit. And these bitches is sleeping with the prostitute. And I'm like, bitch, you're just like the way she acts is truly disgusting for somebody that is so pretty. Like that is Miss US. What the hell ever Miss whatever. That's who this is. So I'm sorry. I looked at a clip with her and Kim Fields the other week, just preparing for whatever.
Oh, I just watched that.
So she
that
tells
pissed
Kim
me
Fields,
off.
she tells Kim Fields, and look, she has her children here. How unprofessional, bitch. That child got a peach. And I'm sorry, but everything that King has said about somebody else and somebody else's husband, somebody else's life is coming back on her ass right now. I'm not saying that people deserve that she as a woman deserves a man that treats her like that, because she does not. But by her actions, she does not deserve any empathy from the women that she had did those things to. And that's all I say about that. Like, she can be in therapy and do all that, but until we see some action behind it and some accountability, then it's nothing. It's for salt. It's
the only reason, let me tell you something. If you look, Kenya has me blocked. Okay,
what?
Absolutely, because I'm not a Kenyan fan. Kenya, I love hating villain Kenya, but she not villaining for me right now. She just not. She not. It's not. She's not giving me
up. She tired.
She's not giving me good villain right now. So it's like, it's making it easier for me to see the parts that she is working on and she's doing better at. So like, she's not going to pull. Yeah. So it's like, I'm not saying she changed. I'm not saying I'm Team Kenya, because I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I can't stay. I'm blocked. I type in Kenya more, she'll pop up on nothing. Kenya, okay?
Unblock Asia, because I think she may be a new stan. I'm sorry. I think she may be a little stan a little bit. Unblock Asia.
You know what it is? I go season to season. Like, I don't really have a favorite on here. We all know who I stand on what franchise. It's selling one person only.
Who is he?
I'm Candace.
Baby. And that's what's up.
And that's it.
That's
all I stand. That's it.
Too. That's it.
But
good night.
I just because she not being so mean, because she's not being so evil. Yeah. Like, it's like she being more petty. It's kind of hard for me to be like, well, she deserves. Like, but when she being a villain, she being a villain. I'll be like. So I mean, I think that's where I'm coming from, because I'm probably not ever gonna be no Kenya fan, but I get it. I see where she at right now in life, and maybe it's because she had a baby, or maybe it's because her husband hoeing her now. Who knows? But she not being that villain that I can't stand right now.
Wow, I've never been blocked from about it. Oh, actually, I'm blocked. Oh, no, never mind.
What, Ashley Darby?
No, I don't. Oh, Lord. And she could block me. I'm blocked from a Blood, Sweat, and Heels. I don't know if y'all ever remember that, but Demetria Lukic, she blocked me. Yeah.
Okay. Come on, so we here. We see each other.
Okay, so let's move to the next topic. So Cynthia had a pop-up shop. I like the message. I like the meaning and everything behind it.
I like it too.
The black-owned business. I like she used her space. And it seems like all the women in their businesses were there. You know, Porsha had her sheets. Kenya Moore Hair Care was there, but it was not there with it wasn't there with a band. But she wasn't there. And I think Kandi was there too. It was just a really nice event. I feel like until
LaToya wasn't there.
Hold on, we're gonna get into that. So until
he came late.
The event actually was still nice when Marlo got there. But Marlo knew what she was doing. Yeah. Marlo went to everybody's table. But what took me out was she went to Porsha's table. And Porsha said, "You want a discount card?" I said, no discount card.
He said, "Okay, thank you, bye bye." I said,
she said, "No." Marlo said, "Give me a king size."
Rude.
She knew what she was doing. But you know what? Marlo again trying it. Now, what actually irritated me at this event was Drew, because Drew made it her mission to keep getting this tea out about this Prophet lie. Now, we didn't talk about the initial conversation with Prophet lied, because like as we all know, it came about that she wanted to get her baby baptized, but Prophet lied apparently is having a relationship or something with LaToya, so she suspects, and so she doesn't want the baby to get baptized anymore. So at this event, she is basically telling Kandi and telling Cynthia.
Everybody.
And Cynthia confused child. Cynthia said, now what? She said, now when the baby shower?
Baby shower?
She didn't know.
She didn't even know it was a baby blessing.
Cynthia age is showing just by what she said. Don't show by her face, but it show by what she said.
Yeah.
But when LaToya gets there, Kandi goes over immediately with her messy ass, and she tells LaToya, she was like, "Oh, she got a new boo." And so when they go to the back, which is what we're going to talk about in the back in the wine cellar, it goes down. And I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna let y'all have it. You probably never hear me say this again. I am so proud of LaToya for many reasons, because this episode, 17 episodes later, she gave me a real grown woman housewife. I really felt like after watching this scene with her and Drew that she could actually have a peach. And the reason why I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna give y'all the floor, is because she handled Drew so classy. She handled her, and she handled her so well in the most classy way. She was giving back to her, and she made Drew look absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. And she looked amazing. I thought she looked really good. She looked like
she did.
She looked really good. I would say people say all the time, she's pretty, she's beautiful. This time I actually believe it. She's always pretty, but this time she gave me a grown woman. I could tell she maybe had some kids. This time, so go ahead, Jasmine. Give me your thoughts on the profit line situation, Drew and LaToya, and this whole clash they had at in the wine cellar, child.
This is about to be real good.
Well, I am a Drew fan. But I do think that she went to going to everybody in that place I was gonna have a baby blessing, but I couldn't do it. I have a baby.
For my 3-year-old child.
Stop. Right. I was just like, come on now, Drew. But when they got back to that cellar, I was like, she was like, trying to, put it out there. Like I said, this is the first time you're going to hear me say something about Eva. When she called Kandi Salt Bae, that is what she just proved herself just to do on this thing. Cause she didn't have to do all that, just putting it out there, but I guess they needed to. But I agree that Toya, did what she had to do, with Drew. And I do think that Drew is just basically putting it out there. She needed something to say to bring it up. And I think that blessing was what it was. I thought it was just her reaching for it. Yeah. But at the same time, as a church child, okay, I am a church child. My family does have a church in Chattanooga. That is a family church that my family was the deacons, mother boy, all that. If I introduce you to my pastor and you fuck him, I will be frustrated. I do understand where Drew comes from that. However, it's really none of my business. Exactly. I'm 33 years old. My pastor is probably 60 or whatever. And it would be like, damn, I didn't introduce you to my pastor to bust it open. I wanted you to get your life together, but I wouldn't be that involved. Now, do I think the prophet's lying? Hell yeah, he lying. And he told her what to say when she got there, in my opinion. So that's just how I feel about it. I think that she did. I think that what Drew is saying is correct. I mean, it's more true than what they're saying, but I don't think that it's anybody's business. If we're going to say that Porsha's business is not our business, then Toya's business is not our business.
That's very true. Hey, Ja.
I hated to say it though.
I've seen. Okay, I'll speak on how I feel about Toya overall and what I've seen. I saw somebody who was like, she just seemed like she was struggling because why are you acting like that? Why were you acting like that? So I think whatever cleanse she was on did her a lot of good. Mm-hmm. And it started when they were in New Orleans and she was just like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Move on to this. So she was going off a little bit more while she was in New Orleans, but she still was handling herself well. Now we see her having to handle Drew again. And she did an even better job. So you could just tell that she was going through a divorce and I don't know what's going on with her, but I saw all that other stuff as just like lashing out and acting out. So I'm not really surprised that when you seek help you actually get better. You just have to put that foot forward. So I never really counted out Toya. Her and Drew equally got on my nerves, like together as a unit. So now it's just like, all right, Toya, so don't be making people mad in their house now. Like let's just make sure we stay where we can stay there. And I'm really proud of that. She did look so pretty.
She did.
I was like, how she looked real good with that mask on. That's crazy.
Like she looked really.
Yeah, she looked grown.
She exuded a grown, like she was a housewife. Like I feel like before now we saw a little girl, and I never thought about that. Maybe whatever she did go through, the little cleanse, maybe it did help her. Because I will say we have seen a shift.
I mean, it clearly did.
We've seen a shift in her since the
beginning
Halloween party. The Halloween party is when after that we didn't really see anything else like that. So I just wanted to give note, but you know when she was wearing Drew out. Drew was like, "Did you just learn your lesson?" And she was like, "I'm new to this. I'm new to this.
I'm new to this."
That's what I'm saying. You're like, girl, you don't.
I said, "Oh Lord."
Question.
Go ahead.
Why ain't Drew a pastor? Why can't she just baptize that 4-year-old?
First of all, don't you ever attack me by that me not thinking. I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that. You are so right.
Well, she said that Prophet Lot.
I'm just trying to figure things out.
She said that Prophet Lot.
She's a pastor. Why isn't she doing that?
Honey, I don't know. I guess we got to ask Drew.
And why you ain't dipped your baby in the pool in the holy water a long time ago? Your baby is walking and grown and eating spaghetti. Girl, your baby sweet as so. You should have been blessed that baby. Ain't you full of the spirit? Ain't your mama a pastor?
I didn't even think about that, but I'm on top of it. Hey.
So I call BS. And I call you're doing what you planned on doing. I call you getting your acting skills together so you can try to get booked
back
again.
onto the game. Right. Yeah.
So, if they do a game reboot,
she's on there.
Drew Sidora gonna be there. She's gonna be there and be ready. Yeah, she's gonna be booked and busy. So it's just like I just see what Drew is doing and just the way she went about it. It was like, girl,
she just
your mama could have went to the back of the pool and got that baby together. Now the baby's 15.
I didn't think about that. 17. They said that Prophet Lot is a family prophet, so maybe it's tradition that he does all the kids. I don't know.
But didn't they know each other for years too? Haven't they known this prophet for years? But the prophet said that he just met them.
I think that prophet is lying because at the end of the day, Drew said that he called her and said that Toya was upset because Drew found out. So who lying?
So, okay, we're going to closing out on that scene, because this is where we kind of talk about the prophet. The prophet, I kept trying to zoom in and see. I said, is the prophet cute? Because I was trying to see if I need to sign up for them. I just saw,
if you need to sign up for prophet.com.
I go to prophet.com and find me a prophet. No, I'm just saying, I'm good with what I got. But I was like, on the next episode, so we'll move into that. They go to Kenya's house, and Kenya has her pool. Everything finished. Mm-hmm. And, Marlo, this is Marlo's first time at the house, honey. And Marlo, child, I feel like she was over there getting wet. Just be excited in more manners. I mean, excited. Excited, but Kenya ain't got no food and no alcohol. And I'm just going to say this, like, I understand where Kenya come from. I'm like, Kenya, you come to my house, you can drink, you can have a good time. I may not have no damn food because this is not what I do. But I'm gonna have some liquor though. But she could have had, usually traditional for housewives, they usually put something together for them. So, but Marlo ended up ordering pizza and wings. And I'm also gonna note that I feel like they just kind of washed away the situation between Kenya and Toya in terms of like their little relationship. Like it's kind of been unspoken since the Halloween party. So I feel like a lot happened to what you said, Asia, happened after the Halloween party because we just saw a whole different Toya. Like she just was a little bit more mature about a lot of things. So I don't know. But anyway, in this situation, they called the prophet. And like you said, I feel like the prophet is definitely lying. Somebody's lying. It was definitely they had already spoken about it. I could tell. And I just didn't like how they were having this conversation about Drew. You got Cynthia and Kandi over there, who later on gonna act like they had nothing to do with it. But you saw Cynthia was like, don't give me the phone now. I ain't doing no talking.
Right.
I saw that.
But she looked in that phone when it passed by her, and Kandi grabbed the phone. So I hope at the reunion that Drew lays into them some kind of way, because I feel like I just wouldn't be sitting there letting them talk. If you remember, I always go back to the facts of history of Atlanta in season 10 when they was going in on Flat Mark and Kenya in San Francisco. Cynthia got up and walked out because she didn't want them to talk about her friend. And if I'm not, I know that Drew ain't her bestie, but Cynthia brought Drew to the show. That's her technically in friend. So I'm just interested to see how that's going to go. Will Drew take offense to it? Because I think that's a little shady to me. But what were your thoughts on this whole little phone call? How they passed the phone around, everybody kikiing and laughing. Start with you, Asia.
At first, I thought it was staged. I still think there was some stagerization to it. But I will say the only thing that kind of threw me off was like, so it was like, here, you talk to him.
Right.
Like, I don't care. So that's why I was like, well, unless like Cynthia and Kandi and them was in on knowing that they was gonna call, like how would he control that? I don't know. So I don't know if it was. I can't say like.
Well, I'm saying stage
I
in
feel
terms
like
of he knew of the conversation. Not that they knew that she was gonna call.
Yeah.
But I feel like she had it planned that I'm gonna call you. So answer this phone and.
Yeah. I will say that, but I'm just in terms of the questions that they asked and stuff. I don't think that everybody was like really in on it, if that makes any sense, because usually like if I'm about to lie, I'm like, hold on, so let me ask it. So remember when I said see, I didn't say that, did I? No, you ain't say that. Like that's how I am if I'm about to be lying with the phone conference. I'm not handing nobody no phone for y'all to just go in and freely. So that's the only thing that like threw me off, where I'm like, maybe not. I mean, I really don't care, because he said what he said. At least he got to say his piece. We ain't heard from Bolo. Ain't nobody called Bolo and passed the phone around. So
well, Bolo put out a whole video and said he didn't do it though.
I remember he put that out before they filmed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it back to that. But
I thought we was done talking about Bolo.
And I think there's something going on with the driver and the prophet. That's what
wasn't that not weird that he was like, when we had it was like he was mad about something. I was like, so is the prophet kind of dabbling? Is he a little? I don't know. Sorry.
So that's where I'm like, something wasn't being said.
Right.
That almost came out but didn't. And so that's the only reason I'm like, yeah, Toya probably, because then she's also admitted like, well, I'm getting divorced. I'm going to be able to do what I want. I'm going to do what I want when I want. Like she's been open about that. So I think she would have like maybe admitted to it, maybe not. But I know that's not one thing she's hid. That's what her and Drew initially started getting into it for, that and that pet wig.
Whoa. That what?
The pet wig.
First, one thing I gotta say is I like, Toya telling Drew that she need to be paying attention to a treadmill. I did not like that, because Toya ain't that skinny either. I did not like that.
I did not like that. I don't be liking that little fat shaming stuff, because it's just like
I don't
like nobody in there is built great. I'm sorry. Now I will say Drew, she does not really have a shape. She has a weird type of body. I feel like she don't have no shape. I was gonna say
well, I mean, she looked like that during the game. She was just really skinny, but me and you. I mean, she was really skinny,
and I think
she was still.
She has always been a square. She has always been a square.
Like that's what it is. So, like, even in the next episode, obviously, you saw she had the little shapewear on when it came up.
Them shape, a little girl showed up.
But as far as being like fat and oversized and away, like no she's not a big girl. She's no bigger than what Kenya looked like when she was sending Toya nudes at the beginning of the season, because Kenya was huge. But anyway, go ahead.
Huge, Well, I mean, they all big, you know.
Y'all mess.
I mean,
Bruh, they all
Cynthia
are.
is 195. Okay, but anyway, that's not my business because I used to be thick. I used to be thick, y'all. I promise.
I
I'm
still
not
am.
talking about it. I used to be kind of thick, but I'm just saying I've been in the 195s myself. But let's just be clear, But anyway, I what I thought about the conversation was I think it was staged on the end of Toya and the prophet. And I think that she, like you said, hey, when I'm about to go meet the girls, when I call you, pick up, FaceTime, and just gave it to them because they already knew what the conversation was going to be. Now, again, I think that he's lying. I do feel bad for Drew on one end of it because if she's really telling the truth about it, like that's really fucked up that your prophet that you saying that you've been cool with for years is doing you like that over some pussy. I mean, that's just my opinion about it. Like, sorry, like again, if you mess with my pastor, I might feel away, but I'm not gonna say that.
Doing her like what though? Well, like what did you think? Because she's not. What is he's not doing anything to her? He's just, I guess, messing with. I guess is there some distrust there? Like she feels like, why would my, I brought you. Basically, like, he feels like. She feels like that he is stepping outside of his with godly prophet ways by sleeping with this girl who he's supposed to be helping. Mm-hmm. I think that's the issue, because she's trying to bring it back to God. And one thing I was listening to some other reviews earlier.
Can't do that.
And what one of the girls was saying was, she said, well, Drew, honestly, he does if he has this 6-week course or whatever with women and stuff like that, and you suspect that he's doing this with LaToya, then he's probably doing it to many other women.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm. Everybody. It's not just LaToya. Well, so
when I say not doing it to her, when I say that, I mean like she said that they're having conversations, that he's calling her husband and they're having conversations because he said, he called me and said that she wants to change her life. That's what Ralph said. Is that her name? His name, Ralph? Mm-hmm. That's what Ralph said about the conversation.
Honorable.
But I think that it's just about the fact that somebody's not being very honest about how much they communicate with each other. Yeah. Because if it's the way Drew says it, I can see the frustration with that, because if they're that close to what she said, then it's more than just my prophet, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Now, do everybody know what the Delilah story in the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay,
I hollered it, but I'm sorry, not Delilah.
But you said what?
Jezebels, Delilahs.
Beelzebub. I know all that.
Use her sexual wiles to get what's his name? I think it was Samson. I'm not really sure, to tell where his power came from, and it came from his hair. But you know what I'm saying? That when it came to that, I did think that Drew was kind of wrong about that, because what Kandi said at the place was, at the wine cellar, y'all are giving Toya too much credit, because at the end of the day,
I agree.
This is this is such a man of God, of high faith. That's like somebody saying, y'all know Jamal Brown is a pastor. Why y'all keep throwing your coochie at him? He's a grown man.
I feel like
when Kandi spoke up, I like her being devil's advocate, because it basically what I feel like she was saying too was just like, it's not always on the woman. Who was to say that
it's not?
And so like that was real.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that at the reunion they address it more. I do want to see Drew dive more, because this is. I mean, what I hate is that the finale's next week, only because this deserved a little more time. You know what I'm saying? A little more time, and it's rushed. I'm glad the season ended, because they get on my damn nerves.
But it really didn't, because it didn't happen on air. Like, we didn't see it. It was something that was brought up. So that's probably why they didn't give it the time that you think they should have given it.
Well, you're right, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. I guess for the sake of a storyline like this, I don't know. It's their feud has been happening since episode 2, when she called it a pet week. Mm-hmm. So it escalated, got okay, escalated. Now it's like here they're throwing wigs at each other. So it's just like, okay, well shit, But now it's like, oh, finale's next week, let's end it. So,
yeah,
I like Kandi when she spoke about that. I thought that was a good point of view to have, because
it was.
Drew did kind of just put it all on LaToya, and I do feel like that's really not her business. But I do also understand if Drew is such a spiritual woman and is so close to God, I can understand.
Miss Lickety Split.
Man, you can't be spiritual and still like to throw that thing in the
Get
circle.
the hell out of here with
It's
that.
a lot of spiritual
bullshit.
people that's out here. What's the name of that song? Drop it low for Jesus.
mean, I've just seen it all. So you're not gonna be able to condemn me and be talking about your banana split vagina.
Well, no
Like,
sin's greater than the other. Like you
Ever.
can't say, you know what I'm saying? It's not like
so
that,
that's why to me it's just like, oh, you got that Delilah split spirit. So do you, Miss Lickety Splits.
Well, that's what she said when she called her coffee table.
Delilah was using her womanly wiles to seduce and get men to do the things that she wants to do.
Apparently, that's what Miss Druce was trying to do too, but we ain't see it because we took the cameras down. But apparently, she was on the table. That's what I'm just saying. It's just like the hypocrisy for me is you calling out my body parts, but when I call your body parts out, it's a problem. You doing what you want to do, spreading wide open, but then getting mad when I do it too with your pastor. Like,
yeah,
neither one of them is out here.
No,
I'm just saying.
So it sounds like what you saying, Asia, is what you saying is, you know what, I'm mad at you. I'm gonna go fuck your pastor, bitch.
Right.
because you know what?
My thing is,
now I don't think it got nothing to do with the damn kids. Now it's crazy because the baby ain't got nothing to do with this. This baby is ready to be baptized, and she needs to go ahead and get baptized.
Yeah.
She is ready.
You're waiting about 5 years.
The only person that is suffering right now is the baby. So at this point, Drew, all this energy, go ahead and down here and find somebody.
And get somebody else.
Because at this point,
just call your mama.
I hate that you pointed that out because I just missed that. Man.
It was an interesting thing.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done being messy. I promise.
It was an interesting thing. It was, I'm next week. We got wigs being thrown. We got Drew walking up on Kenya pulling a knife on us slightly. It's a lot. So I hope that this finale, y'all saw that right when she was like, "Don't walk on me like that."
Yeah.
When she had the knife. And Drew was like, "Don't put no knife on me now."
I hope they prosecute her just like they did Candace with that little bit butter knife. Never mind, that's going back too far. Sorry about that. That was going back too far.
Where was we?
The difference
I
in
just hope they do that because she didn't have to do that. I mean, she just was giving you a wig than what you pointed out.
That is very true. Kenya is extra. Kenya has walked up on so many people, has chased so many people, has done so many things. So to see this next week, I can't wait till we talk about it next week. And I can't wait till Lamicia is here because Lamicia loves some Kenya honey. So Lamicia is a Kenya stan. Now she will say when
I feel like I'm right in the middle.
You are in the middle.
On the other side.
It's this whole panel is very split with Kenya, and that's why I like it. That's why I was chosen. But between now and to the last the reunions, it's gonna be interesting to see like where everybody stand because I think this reunion is gonna be really good. And, they're going to be live. They're going to be live. They're not going to be recorded like they are now. So, y'all get ready because people will be in the comments. So, with that being said, I think we have covered everything. We're about to lean out, of course. Jasmine and Asia have gave some great point of views about everything. It's been a great conversation, child. And like I said, I thought the episode was a good episode. So I knew it would be good. Yeah. Next week is the finale, and this season will finally be over. No more Bolo. Because if I got to hear one more time, I said, Lord, I'm going to have to step off the roof. So, with that being said, we're going to get out of here. You can find Jasmine and Asia on Instagram at their names below. And reach out to them, show them some love, follow them, do all the things, support them and the lean. So until then, we got to get out of here. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.